Hi Tony, this is our second YouTube video for the class and we'll be discussing it right now. So follow us and join.
So the video I picked was American Nurse. The main focus of American Nurse was about Lily Lee Adams wanting to become a nurse because of the lack of nurse that they had in Vietnam when the war was taking place. Basically she wanted to become a nurse because of the male soldiers that would come and tell her how much they needed nurses and how they didn't have much nurses. So without even thinking twice about it, she decided to become a nurse in Vietnam. She felt this way because she felt that soldiers wanted to protect their own country, so why couldn't she help out as well? When she told her father that she wanted to become a nurse, he kind of looked down upon it because he thought that the stereotyping was true, where they said that nurses were all prostitutes and they all turned into lesbians. This didn't stop Lily from becoming a nurse because she really wanted to do one. In the video, she talks about how hard it was to become a nurse and being a nurse as she was trained. She knew what she was doing for helping the doctors, but she didn't know what to expect when she was down there. When she was down in Vietnam, the injuries that came in, she was actually shocked. And one of the injuries that came in, she froze because she didn't know what to do, and the soldier was badly injured. Lily Adams talks about an event where she yelled at a doctor, which made her look big upon herself, I guess, because usually the nurses respect doctors, and when they walk in, they give them the Typically, she yelled at the doctor because the doctor wanted this old lady to pull her pants down because she had an infection, and they didn't really, the lady didn't want to, and so she went up to the doctor and she told him, what if that was your grandma? What would you have done? What if that's your mom? Clearly she didn't feel comfortable, and she said that she'd take over the situation. The doctor kind of backed off, and from there on in, she felt like she should talk her what's on her mind, because the doctor from there on in kind of respected her for standing up for what she believed in. And then in November, she left after she served in Vietnam. And basically, throughout the video, she talks about her experiences and stuff that she went through as a nurse.
Okay, so the film I did was Getting Educated. My focus is that in the film Getting Educated, students face unnecessary pressures in getting into post-secondary institutions because of Hong Kong's school entrance system. So what the video was basically about is, in Canada, we usually try to do the best we can in high school in order to get into a post-secondary institution. In Hong Kong, though, they have to take 2 entrance exams, which have 2 totally different curriculums, and it's from the high level and the advanced level. And so they're 2 really extreme exams that they have to take, and not only do they have to do that, but they also have to take the exam in order to get into their program. And a lot of students are facing so much pressure with that, because in order to get a good education, they have to be stressing over 2 exams just to get into the school, and then plus another exam to get into the program. And another problem that they were trying to show throughout the video is that in Hong Kong there isn't much space for students, and so a lot of people who have the grades to get into the schools, it's they don't have many positions for them. And so it's become a hardship for students in order to get somewhere in life. And they were just trying to distribute those issues that they were experiencing and the different things that they can do, but they haven't really found a solid solution for that problem yet. So that was basically what my video was about.
So my movie was Across the Line. And Across the Line is an expository documentary on mental health. It's also very informative because it provides viewers with information that discredits previous stigmas. Before I watched this, my understanding of mental illness was people are crazy and they just stay in their mental institutions. But in this film, they show that there's levels. First they go into the hospital, and then they're treated there, and then once they feel they're well enough to go outside into the world, they go into halfway houses to start to integrate with society and become go back to their normal routines. The film was also showing like different people and how they felt about how they're treated with their mental illness. Like this one woman, she was saying that how she was really close to her family, but now she's not so much because they all assume she's just crazy, and whatever she says, they're like, oh, you're crazy. And so she was saying that really hurts her, and she just wants to be treated as being normal because she was normal before her illness, and she feels she's normal now, so that she just wants everyone to treat her the same as they used to treat her.
I did the video Missing, and it's about the laws regarding immigration and the immigration of people from China to Hong Kong, and how it needs to be changed because it's causing both heartache for the families who are split up, and it's causing people to break the law. So Kang Lai-san is the main person in the video. She's the girl, the missing girl, and her mother asks her friend if she can use her daughter to pretend to be Kang Lai-san so she can register as a citizen in Hong Kong. And she knew that when they saw the photo of her actual daughter, they would know that it was not the same girl. So on the advice of her father, Mrs. Kang pretends that Kang Lai-san is missing. And she didn't expect the attention that her situation got from reporters and from the police. And it became a huge issue, and the police were put on overtime to try to find Kang Lai-san. And her parents, her father, and the other family were all, when they were found out, they were all tried and found guilty of deceiving immigration and causing wasteful employment of police. So Kang Lai-san's parents and grandparents were fined $15,000, and they also had to pay the $5,000 that the other family was charged with. The other part of the story is about Kang Lai-san's grandparents in her original hometown. And so we see how the grandparents are struggling. They're getting old, they're sick, and how they're afraid they can't take care of her. So she's with her aunt in another city now, trying to get over the border, like legally. And we also meet other families who have been split up because of the Chinese immigration laws, and because they split up the families, like they're only allowed one child, one parent, and one child. And so because of this problem, Hong Kong has advised China to change the laws so that they would stop splitting up families, and we wanted to immigrate.
We'll just edit out this part.
Yeah.
Okay. What was your movie called again?
Higher education.
Okay, let's try again. Okay, so your film, Higher Education, it reminds me of like stuff my mom was talking about. She said when she grew up in Jamaica, they had to take tests like that. Like there's different levels, different classes, like an A class, a B class, and C class, and you had to take tests in elementary school to decide which class you were, and that would, I guess, decipher what kind of education you were going to get. So I guess that happens in other countries too. Yeah. But I'm glad we don't do things like that.
Japan is like that, I know.
Yeah.
And like China, Taiwan, obviously, and
Yeah. Some countries still have that today. Yeah.
It kind of shows how kind of easy that we have it in Canada, because we think that we're stressing over. Imagine the people in Hong Kong who have an A level and an advanced level. Like there's no grades below that in order to get into post-secondary school.
Yeah. But I guess one benefit of that is that maybe there are no kids left behind kind of thing, because then you're getting an education garnered to your level.
Yeah.
And not everyone's being taught one way. So maybe there's benefits to being taught like that.
But there are downsides because the F class, the class of, they have minimal, really easy. And so they're not really
learning,
being challenged, and they don't go far. I shouldn't say that. I don't know if they go far, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. Even your movie, it kind of reminded me of the movie I did last week, which was Chinese cafes in rural Saskatchewan. You were talking about how the lady lied to those people and she got caught and she had to pay a fine. Whereas last week there was a talk about a man who wanted his son to go to Canada, but he couldn't get him there, and so his father's family friend, his son had just passed away, and so he gave his son's name to that guy in order for him to get to Canada. And they never said anything about him getting caught. And I thought that was kind of surprising that you would give someone your dead son's name and not get caught at all.
I think these days they would get caught.
Yeah, more
A
strict.
lot, yeah.
Great, that's it. We'll cut it.
Okay.